Clash of Clans was creative this season. They're completing the ice set, but also introducing 2 fire skins and making it a fire and ice season. As you can see, we've got 4 skins to review, starting with the Ice Champion. The Ice Champion is going to be the Gold Pass skin for January 2025. Of course, the Gold Pass costs $6.99 and it runs the entire month of January. If you are buying anything in Clash of Clans, don't forget to use code Seth. You can also use it on the Supercell store to make sure you're supporting me with every purchase. Thank you so much. The Ice Champion is a pretty solid design. There aren't many things that I dislike about her, but the things that I dislike are the blue skin, and I'm not a big fan of the teal clothes that she has. Those are pretty big things to dislike about a skin because it's the main part of the design. I really just do not like how they went with the blue skin. The teal is forgivable, but I just don't think it matches the ice set as well. Aside from that, everything looks epic. Her ice spear, her ice shield that she has, which has the spikes all around it, and the ice effects when she does her selection animation. You saw that ice on the ground, there's snow all around her, and that shield just looks so good. I also like her hair and her crown. Maybe if the hair was more blue or more white, it would look better, and the clothing style looks really good. You gotta see this pose effect. She puts her spear down, slams her shield on the ground, and that huge sheet of ice that expands looks amazing. You also notice, if you zoom out more, that snow shoots out pretty far across the map, which is a really nice touch. I love her walking animation. I just went snowboarding for the first time and I learned that when you put one foot on the snowboard like this and push with the other foot, it's called skating. That's how you get around when there's no hill to go down. And I love how as she pushes off with her foot, the ice comes off the back of her shield. Let's take a look at her attacking ability and knockout. That attacking looks so cool with the glowing ice spear that she throws. When we use her ability, of course she's gonna throw her ice shield with that ice trail behind it. These ice effects are really good. Her knockout looks pretty cool. It's ironic right here that she's in the fire as she is an ice skin, but that fits the nice theme of the fire and ice. But she looks like she's freezing to death. She can barely move. There's that ice underneath her and snow falling on top of her. She's dropped everything around her. This is a really nice knockout animation. After she comes back and has to rest, one of the things that they put on these skins is the custom Z's that come off of her while she's sleeping. I don't think any other skin has had this custom effect. She's curled up in a ball, freezing cold, and there's snow falling down on her. Overall, not a bad skin. The design could be a little bit better, but I really love the effects that they put on her. And for a Gold Pass skin, I think this is worth it. We're going in reverse order this month. We're first gonna get the champion, then we're gonna get the warden on January 8th. He is a legendary skin, of course, costing $9.99. He's only gonna be available until January 14th. I love pretty much everything about the Ice Warden except the bluish skin. The same with the Royal Champion. I wish they would not have done this. I love with the other ice skins how they just have their normal colored skin. I don't like how they changed it with the Champion and the Warden, but everything else, especially this snowflake effect that pops up like that and then sits on top of his staff, that looks amazing. I love the design of the staff. I love how he has the ice hair and the beard. The teal cape might have looked better if it was all white fur, but it does match his gloves, and whatever's on his neck, I'm not sure exactly why his neck is that teal color. Again, it's not the color that I would have picked, but his pose animation is really nice. It's a short and sweet version of the selection animation. Same goes for his air pose. It's really solid and it's short and sweet. I love the beam of ice that he shoots out when he attacks. It looks so clean and the sound effects are perfect. His knockout is very similar to the Royal Champion, but I think this one's a lot better. I don't know if his cape is supposed to be shaking like that, but it looks like he's shivering, so it works. His air knockout animation is so good. It's very high quality, it looks realistic, and it fits him perfectly. I love how that snowflake is on the top, spinning around his head, and it's got some nice snow effects on it too. Here's what his ground resting animation looks like. This one also has the custom Z's, which again, looks so good. He's laying on the ground. He looks like he's shivering. I can't tell if he's actually shivering or if that's just the wind blowing past him. But again, this one looks really good. And here's his air resting animation. Sleeping on the snowflake looks so cool. no pun intended. So before we take a look at the fire skins, the ice skins are pretty solid. The designs aren't 100% ideal, at least not in my opinion, but still, if you like the design, these are definitely worth it. The Fire Queen is a legendary skin costing $9.99. She's coming out on January 15th. She's going to be available until January 21st, and this skin is an interesting one. I mean, first of all, I think she's pretty ugly. The skin looks awful. I don't know why they put blue skin on a fire skin. I mean, the ice kind of makes sense, but I do not like it here. And what is her hair and that ball she's holding supposed to be made out of? I mean, I would assume lava, but to me it looks like orange juice or jello. It does not look like lava. So I think they messed up on this design, at least in my opinion. Maybe it's supposed to look like something and I just don't understand. The animation also isn't anything fantastic. It's kind of boring. The pose animation is fine. It's sort of interesting. That's the best I've got. You can probably tell so far that I'm not a big fan of this skin, but this walk-in animation is kind of funny, how she has to drag her enormous bow across the battlefield. Again, that bow, I don't know why it's so big. Maybe it's a reference to something. The arrow on this attacking animation looks fire. I mean, pun definitely intended. It looks so good. It kind of looks like a rocket shooting off her bow. Her actual animation when she's attacking also looks really clean. When she goes down, her animation's pretty funny. Her gigantic bow falls on top of her and she cannot push it off. So these animations are pretty good. They didn't completely ruin this skin, but I still do not like the design. If you like the design though, I always say this, if you like the design, the skin is probably worth it, especially when it has really good effects and animations like this skin. Here's her resting animation. She's using her bow as a hammock, which is really clever and really funny. Props to the designers for coming up with that one. They really took advantage of the big bow that they gave her. So that's the Fire Queen. This design might polarize a lot of people, I don't know, but you can let me know what you think in the comments. Next, we're getting the Fire King on January 22nd, and he will be available through the end of the month, January 31st. Again, he's legendary, costing $9.99. This one is a little bit better than the Fire Queen as far as the design goes, but I think they could have made the lava on him way better. If they used a similar effect like what they had on all the dragon skins, where the water on them is actually flowing, that would look a lot better in my opinion. Just with the lava being still, I don't think it looks that good, and it even looks pretty low quality. The armor on this skin looks kind of cool, but other than that, the helmet looks kind of goofy. He looks ugly with the helmet off. And like, why is he wearing metal underwear? I don't know what they were thinking with this design. I just don't like it. The pose animation is fine. It's very basic. I mean, he yells and then sticks his sword in his head, which is kind of cool. I don't know, I just can't get over the design. I just think they could have made it way better. They did really do a pretty good job on the walking animations. I like how on this one, he drags his sword on the ground, making a fire trail behind it. But unfortunately for both the king and queen, they messed up the feet and how they move compared to how fast the ground is moving. So their feet are moving faster than the ground. Not a big deal, it's just that I wish they would polish it a little bit more and make sure they're synchronized with how the ground moves. The attacking animation on this skin looks really clean. Sometimes he'll stab, sometimes he'll do a big sweeping swing with his sword. There are some subtle fire effects. I think they could have gone a little bit harder with the fire, especially considering this is a fire skin. Like for the Champion King, the fire was a lot more obvious. For this one, it's kind of just like a little poof of fire. If they were still making custom barbarians, I think some fire barbarians would look, well, fire. His knockout animation is pretty solid. He falls on the ground and uses his sword to sort of keep himself up, tries to raise himself up the rest of the way, but can't quite get it. He also looks like he's breathing fire out of his mouth. His resting animation is pretty basic. Unfortunately, now we get to see his ugly face with the helmet off. So yeah, that's the Fire King. Overall, these skins, I feel like they could have been so good, but in my opinion, they kind of dropped the ball with them. The designs are just not there. They're pretty ugly, and the blue skin just gives them that dead, pale, expressionless look. All their faces, including the ice skins, all are pretty pale and expressionless. Unfortunately, they don't look happy like the old ice skins. And I love the way that the old ice skins look with their normal colored skin. Like I said before, I wish they would not have changed it to the blue skin with the new ones, and I wish the other skins would have looked happy. The Ice Warden here, he looks the happiest out of all of them. So overall, the designs of these skins are lacking in my opinion, but as you heard, there is a lot that I do like about them. It's just a matter of opinion. But let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.